Today, and for the next few times, we're going to see how to kind of embellish our nighttime sky. If you have a telescope or anything like that, then you know there are a lot of really interesting things to look at up in the night sky. But how do you draw them? Well, that's what our focus is going to be today and for the next few times as we learn to create a blacklight star field and a blacklight drawing with ultimately nebula and planets and galaxies and other fun stuff in there. If you look at star photos, you'll see that nebula come in a lot of different colors, but most of the time you're going to see kind of bluish, maybe a little red, a little orange. It doesn't really matter, and I'm going to do something horrible here. I'm going to erase my pretty star field so I have a little bit more space to work on. I'm going to usually choose kind of light and bright colors for nebula, and the way that I do a nebula is just, I'm going to come in here. Now this is just regular chalk, it's not blacklight chalk, but I will come in and I'll draw just kind of a, for lack of a better word, a splotch of color. And I'll do the same thing with blacklight chalk when I'm doing that. This is just regular chalk on a black background. Then I will kind of come in and soften the edges a little bit. Again, if you work on a surface, well, I'm not thinking of my words right. I've always told people I can draw or talk at the same but I can't do both at the same time well. So that's why I'm kind of struggling for words here a little bit. If you're not using blacklight chalk, that's what I was trying to say, then you can do this with regular pastels on black construction paper and still create a pretty neat looking effect. It won't glow in the dark, obviously, but it will look good. Okay, so there's one, and the main thing is I try to make it look, somewhat irregular, and I don't want it to look like a yellow cloud or something, even though it is sort of a cloud. I'm going to take a little bit of now this is chalk, and again you can do all of this with regular pastels. I use lecturer's chalk simply because that's what I work with most of the time. I'm going to come in and throw in a little bit of kind of a, this is a light red orange. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just use my fingers and smear it around a little bit. And that's pretty much all you need to do to create the effect of a nebula. If you want to throw in a little green, maybe I'm going to throw in another nebula down here a little bit. This is a yellow green that I'm using in lecturer's chalk, but again, regular pastels will work. You can try this with colored pencils, but it would be a lot more difficult. And you can do it with watercolors, but it would be challenging. I've never tried doing anything like this with watercolor. Okay. Alright, so I've thrown in a couple of nebulas here. Now if you look at some of the pictures of star fields nowadays, you'll notice what often look like kind of clouds. And if you're working on a black surface and you want to create that illusion of dust clouds, then what you're going to do is you're just going to harden your edges a little bit. Okay, so it looks like that nebula is behind something, and you're seeing the light as it's coming out from there. So just remember, if you want to create that illusion of dust clouds that are blocking out the light, then just create it in such a way that you're going to leave some hard edges, and you'll get that kind of an effect. And you can go in if you want to and add a little bit of highlighting, but you got to be really careful not to add too much. So that's all there is to doing a nebula in regular, this is visible chalk. Now I'm going to show you next time, which will be Thursday, how to do this in blacklight chalk and what it looks like when you're drawing with blacklight chalk. So I hope you'll come back and maybe play with this a little bit, and then we'll come back and do it with blacklight chalk on Thursday. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Pence with See the Light, and don't forget, whenever you're drawing, have some fun.